how to get this year started.
Hi Meadowdoors, let's talk about what you're going to need to do before school starts on Tuesday, August 4th. One thing you're going to need to do if you didn't come to school on Saturday, August 1st to pick up things you're going to need to learn virtually at home, you need to come Monday, August 3rd to do so. Dr. Hughes will send out another email, and probably a phone call if you don't remember what time that you're supposed to come for your grade, but there is a specific time. When you come to school, you're going to get math workbooks. You need those. Your teachers are going to use those grades 5 through 8. So you need to make sure that you come and get those. If you get assigned math workbook pages and you don't have a workbook, you can't do them. So make sure that you come get those. You're going to get a folder that looks kind of like this. We're going to go through this folder together in this video. You can pick up a laptop if you still need one. If you requested one, it's really quick, and if you didn't, hey, that's okay. We can still hook you up while you're there. If you need a hotspot, you need better internet to make sure that you and all the people at your house doing virtual learning can get enough internet. You can get a yearbook from Mr. McGuire. So if you ordered one and didn't come pick it up at the end of last school year, you can come do that. If you paid for the 5th grade field trip last year, but you didn't get to go, you can go talk to Miss Sherry and get her to write you a check to refund your field trip. If you're in band or strings, you can stop by Mr. Kimbrough or Mr. Henry's classes to get your instruments. Okay, so you can do all of those things when you come by school. So make sure that if you didn't come by school on Saturday, you come on Monday. This folder is going to be very important. This one's yellow, but some of them have the JT Moore logo on them. But when you come up, Miss Larson's sitting there, and she is going to make sure that you get this folder. So what's in the folder? On the left side of the folder, you have some things that are more for parents. The first thing in this folder is how parents can log into Schoology. I'm going to post a different video, a how-to video, on how parents can get their Schoology access code and how you can sign up for an account. If you signed up last year for an account when we went virtual, you don't have to do it again. But if you didn't and you would like to this year, I'm going to talk to you about how you can sign up for Schoology. So if you can't read this or you just don't understand the directions, then go find that video and we'll go through it together. Something else you're going to want to keep handy is this paper. So on one side of this paper is a contact list for all the teachers and admin in the building. It's got their name, the subject they teach, the grade they teach, and their email. So you're definitely going to want to keep this handy in case you need to get in contact with teachers. And on the other side of that paper is our schedule. So our virtual schedule for each grade, each period, you're definitely going to want to keep this handy because it's different for all grades. And if you have multiple students at JT Moore, then you're definitely going to want to be able to tell your students' schedules apart and know their classes. And then the third thing on the more of the parent side is information about if your student has an IEP or a 504. If your student does not have an IEP or 504, you don't need this piece of paper. But if they do, it's got instructions. And as always, you can email our EE, our special ed lead, Miss Banana Good, and she can help you out. All right, so on the other side of your folder, you have a sticker here. And this student is not going to return to JT Moore this year, so I made sure to mark their name out. But you're going to have your name and grade. You're going to have what your username is. So your username is already in there for you. So it's your first name, your first initial of your last name, and the last 5 digits of your 190 number. Your password, we're going to talk about in just a second. You have a default password that the district already gives you, but you can change it if you need to or you want to. Your school email, what your school email is, that is going to be very important that if you can't memorize it or you just haven't memorized it yet, that you keep this handy because you're going to use your email a lot this year, especially while we're virtual. So your email is just like your username. It's your first name, the first initial of your last name, and the last 5 numbers of your 190 number. And then it's the @ symbol, mnpsk12.org. And then the last 2 things on that little sticker are going to be really important, especially if you borrowed a device from the school district. So if you have an issue with your username, your email, your password, anything like that, you have 2 options. You can call the MNPS Student Help Desk, and the number is there, and what option you press when you call the number. And it's also our librarian, Miss Sarah Dark's email. Miss Dark is our password guru, and so if you end up having an issue at any point with your password, you can email Miss Sarah Dark. All right, so what else is in the folder? Password instructions. I'll go over those in just a second. You're going to have steps on how to use your hotspot, which I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a login on how to log into your computer and how to use your hotspot video. So if you have problems with that, you have trouble with that, go look for that how-to video. Then I'm going to do a video on how to log into Clever. You need Clever. So Clever is how you get to Schoology, and it's how you get to Teams. So it's very important that if you don't understand the directions in this folder, that you go find that video, because getting into Clever is essential. There is a packet on how to use Schoology, not just how to log into Schoology, but how to use Schoology. And I'm also going to do a how-to video on that. If you look through this and you can't really read it, you don't understand, go look at my video, because I'm going to do it from a student view so that you're not completely lost on the first couple of days of school. There is a piece of paper or a little packet on how to use Teams and how to log into Teams. I'm going to do a how-to video on that, and I'm breaking these videos up, so if you just need help with one thing, you can just go find that video. Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a great resource where students can video themselves doing assignments. There are probably a lot of teachers going to ask that students do Flipgrid. So I'm going to do a how-to video on Flipgrid, but you also have directions here. And then also another small little short video I'm going to do is how you can check out a library book. So I want to keep these videos as short as possible. How to use Schoology is probably going to be the longest video, but these are going to be on the school's YouTube page. So let's talk about your password. Middle school and high school students are going to be required to change their password after they log in the first time, because the district is giving you a default password. That means that every student in the district has a password that is specific for them. So it might be easy for someone to figure out your password if they know you well enough. So middle school and high school students are going to have to redo their password once they logged in the first time. Elementary school students are going to be allowed to keep it. So we're going to use the example of Wilma Rudolph, and I'm going to put this paper right here next to me so that you can see it better while I'm talking about it, okay? So if Wilma Rudolph, who is an Olympic runner, was a student at MNPS, her password, her default password, would be the first letter of her first name, capitalized, so a capital W, the first letter of her last name, lowercase, so a lowercase r, and then 6 digits of her birthday. So if her birthday was June 23rd, 1940, her password would look like capital W, lowercase r, 062340. So if you have a birthday that only has a 1-digit month, so 1 through 9, so January through September, you're going to have to put a 0 in front of that month. So hers would be, again, capital W, lowercase r, 062340. So that is how yours is going to look when you log in. I highly suggest that when you log in and you recreate your password, you make it something that not everyone can figure out, right? Because anybody who knows your first name and last name could, and happens to know your birthday, could hack into your computer and log in as you if they wanted to. And we don't want that to happen. So I would change, you definitely have to change it, but I would change it to something that's easy to remember. I also suggest that in the folder that we talked about, that maybe you write your new password in the folder, or you put it on a sticky note or somewhere around your computer, so if you forget it, then you have somewhere to look to remember. We all forget our passwords. Teachers have to reset their passwords every few weeks. The district requires us to. And so it's really easy to forget a password, especially if you've just changed it. So just write it down somewhere and put it near your computer so if you forget, you can find it. If at any point you need to change it, you can hit Control-Alt-Delete together. And I'll show you what that sequence looks like when I talk about how to log in, but you can hit Control-Alt-Delete and there will be options that come up that say restart, lock the computer, whatever, but there is one that says reset password. You'll have to put in your old password and then you can choose a new password if you need to, but I don't recommend that you change your password too often because it's easier to forget when you change your password a lot. And if you've forgotten to write it down or exactly the way you put it in or something like that, you're going to get locked out and you're going to end up having to call the help desk or Miss Stark. And also, you have to put in your old password to create a new one. So if you're changing your password a lot and you don't remember your old one, you're going to have to call the help desk or talk to Miss Stark to be able to reset your password. So whatever you reset it to, write it down somewhere and keep it there as long as it's working, as long as no one is stealing your account or hacking into your account or anything. Just leave your password there. Okay, so if you guys need any help with anything else, please go check out those how-to videos because I want to help you. I don't want you to be confused. I don't want you to be nervous that you're not going to know what to do. Watch those videos as many times as you need to, and as always, you can always reach out to Ms. Stark. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to any admin or your homeroom teacher to help you figure out what you need to know, what you don't understand, so that you can have a smooth transition into this virtual year. One more thing I want to add is that the password that you choose to log into your device is also the password that's going to automatically be defaulted to Clever, to Schoology, your email. So just know that anything else that you log into that you're going to need for virtual learning, it's going to be the same password. So it's just another example of why it's really important that you choose something that you can remember and that you have handy just in case you forget it, because you're going to need to use it a lot.